Mark.
What's up, Brad?
How are you?
Doing good today.
Good. Very good. Very good. Okay, so hi, Pen.
Hello. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. All right, we're gonna get right into it. We have been criticized for being a little too wordy and chatty.
Well, shocker.
So, so we're gonna get right into it. So here's what we're gonna do today, which is kind of in the vein of onboarding and conversion with HubSpot and using APIANT and all of that. So one of the things that a lot of people know, but a lot of study has been done, is when you get new leads, it's how quickly you respond to those leads. So the quicker you respond to the lead, the more likely you are to convert a lead. And that's in just about every industry. So for chat, for having your chat bot on your page, being able to respond quickly is important. But sometimes you have a landing page and you have a form. And how can you orchestrate a system where you can give your salespeople the choice? Would you like to call them right away, or would you like to respond with a link to your calendar? Some opportunities may grant that you want to respond right away. So what we're going to do is we're going to use HubSpot landing pages, which are fantastic, by the way. I know, Pen, you've been working with that quite a bit. And then we're going to pair that with APIANT moderation queue, and we're going to show you how. We're going to make this pretty quick. We're not going to rebuild it from scratch, but we're going to kind of analyze what we've put together to show you all the pieces, how they work together and how they can be configured. Okay? Sounds good?
Love it.
All right, cool. So let me share my screen here. So here is HubSpot on the right, and we have APIANT on the left here. So I'll tell you what, I'll put it all together into one big one here. So HubSpot has these landing pages, which are really pretty amazing. So Mark, real quick, so to use landing pages in HubSpot, what service level do you need?
Pretty much landing pages are available in each level. It just depends on what you want to do in that. So like the free has it, but it has limitations to have the HubSpot banner on it. You know, you only certain functions that you're going to be able to get. The starter level, where you first start paying, that will remove the banner from your form, but it'll have limitations. So as the higher you go up in HubSpot, the more features are available in the landing page.
Okay, cool.
So for the most part, almost any level. Just depends on what you're doing with it.
Okay, cool. So to create a landing page, I'm not going to show you how to create it. It's very straightforward. HubSpot has great training, but when you create a landing page, you've got a ton of templates to choose from, so that you can really get 90% of the way there just by choosing a template, which is exactly what I did here. I created my great landing page here, and since we have a fake gym here called the APIANT Gym, I created a landing page, which is a pre-built landing pages. It happened to have like a yoga thing going on here, so it's pretty straightforward. It already had all these components in place, so really pretty amazing. But the point is, how are we going to go from someone filling out this landing page to boom, Rex or Penelope getting an SMS and say, hey, do you want to call them right away, or do you want to send them a response with the push of a button that says, here's a link to my calendar? Okay, because you may be in the middle of a meeting, or you may be completely available and recognize the opportunity and want to get right back to them and call them, right? So the landing page, again, you can click and drag all the components of the landing page. For the form here are the fields: first name, last name, mobile, phone number, and message here that I've put in there. So again, landing page looks like this, and here it is. So this is what the landing page ends up looking like. Really cool because it's nice and mobile friendly, very easy. So they fill out the form, okay? And when they fill out the form, the way we're choosing to do it is, as soon as they fill out the form, we're going to create a deal in HubSpot. So the way this works here, if you look in your landing page on the form, there's an automation component called form automation on the bottom right here, on bottom left, sorry. Here you can choose to always create a contact with the email address, which is, I would recommend it. But also it has this thing called workflow. So it pre-builds, it prepares a workflow for that landing page, okay? When you click on this right here, you're gonna get right into the workflow here, right here, landing page test workflow that I have. And this is where you're going to decide what to do once the form is completed, okay? This piece is already going to be in there for you, so this is pretty straightforward. So form submission. So what we decided to do is we decided to create a deal as soon as the page, the form is completed. So the way we did that is we chose create record, okay? You just click plus here and you choose create record. So this is the way we did it here, plus, and then create record, okay? We chose to create a record, and the record is a deal. The deal name, we put the first name and the last name, and we got that from the contact token, okay? So you can actually construct that any way you want based on the contact token here. So here we just did first name, right? And then last name. So I don't want to put it 3 times, but you know, okay. Let me put a space in between the two. First name, last name, okay? And then the deal pipeline, I have a pipeline called a sales pipeline, and I have a stage called completed form, right? So this is a specific pipeline here that you can see that says completed form, okay? And then the other thing that I did, which is actually kind of interesting, is I copied the property from the message. So I copied whatever they enter here, okay, because this is for this goes to the contact. I copied that and I moved it to the deal, okay? And the way I did that here is I just came here and I said copy a property to a deal property. So here I just copied it from the contact. So here I chose message, which is coming from the form, to message that goes to the deal. So yeah, so now you have a deal created. You now have the message they've entered in the form, okay? And that's all there is to it here. I have this thing here, which is not supposed to be there, so we're gonna delete this. This was a different need, so you don't need this piece right here. Delete this action. Okay, so that's all you need. You have a form being filled out, you create a deal. The deal is going to take the information that you've captured in the form and put it in the deal. And then here in the deal, I'm actually choosing to put the message in here. So this is the message that I've entered in the form. So you can see Mark Mann create a deal called I need this now, right? He entered that right here, okay? If you wonder how you can customize how the deals show here, is very straightforward. You just go here to your cogwheel, you choose your deal, you do record customization, and then here you say choose the properties for deal, choose the deal properties shown in the board view, which is a second one here. And here I chose to show the message. You have 2 that you can choose additional to the deal name. I chose the message that was in the deal. And that's how I ended up with, in this particular case, this deals right here, and it says, I need this now. I just chose to do this here because I think it's pretty cool to have all the people who have filled out the form, and you can see right away what they've entered in the form, so you can just kind of get a glance. All right, so this is the part in HubSpot, and that's all you need to do in HubSpot. So now they fill out the form. The form creates a deal in HubSpot. How do we now triage this and make sure that our salespeople can decide what to do with it, okay? So this is really just one automation. This automation, we're not going to reconstruct it, okay? But I'm going to show you how we built it, and I'm going to show you the results of it, okay? So new lead from landing page. This is what I called it. So the very first thing is the trigger is a new deal, okay? So new deal, if you have multiple pipelines, you could filter only the types of deal that you want to, deal name or whatever. I mean, me see, deal ID. Actually, you can't filter it here. If you wanted to filter only certain deals to be considered for this, you could create a conditional here. After you get the deal, you could create a conditional here and say, if the deal doesn't fit in this pipeline, then ignore it. I'm only gonna focus on the deals that are in the sales pipeline. Okay, so you could do that here, very straightforward. So you get the new deal instant here. So the way we did that here is we just came here, we went to HubSpot, and then here we chose new deal instant. When you see instant in parentheses, it means it's a webhook, which means it's instantaneous. Okay, so it's not happening every 15 minutes, it's happening right away. Okay, when a deal comes in, we get the deal, and then we map the deal ID from the trigger here. So this is where we got the deal ID. Okay, then what we do is we get the contact that's associated with it. So this is the associated contact with the deal. Okay, so this is the contact that comes from that deal. Okay, associated contact VID right here. All right, so now we have a deal and we have a contact. And we know they've just filled out a form. This is where the magic happens here. So here what we're going to do is we're going to configure a UI for the moderation queues. This is an APIANT function, okay? So if you're wondering how to find this, you can come here, find action, and you can just type configure, press enter, and it's configure UI, okay? The configure UI, basically what it is, it's the ability to configure what the user interface is going to say for Penelope when she clicks on the link, hey, there's a new deal here, what do you want to do? So the header is going to be new lead, the dialog box is going to be respond to a new lead, okay? And then you always have an approve and deny. But in this case, you want to customize it. So instead of approve and deny, you want to change the button names. This one is call now or send calendar link. Okay. So if she clicks call now, it's going to be an approve. And if it's send calendar link, it's going to be, if it's going to be deny, she's actually going to see send calendar link. Okay. Does this make sense right here? Okay. Straightforward.
Yes.
Once you've configured your UI, you get your moderation link link here. And the way you do that, again, you just come here, find action, and just type get moderation right here, get moderation request link. You add that here. And in this is really, really cool because you can put any kind of information from a previous action or from the trigger. So the title is new lead. And here, instead of Rex, we're going to put Pen here because Pen's here. Pen, would you like to send the call now SMS to this lead? Right? So you can actually, whatever you qualify it with, right? You could ask a lot of other things. So you could ask, what is the size of your company? How many employees do you have? You could ask whatever you want. And all of that, right, could be mapped in this field here. So she could kind of decide, oh, is this somebody I really want to talk to? Or is this somebody that I want to, that has been pre-qualified, that I want to send something else, or in this case, just my calendar. If it's a really hot lead that she's been pursuing and she really wants to talk to them, she could just say, yeah, call now. Or maybe she's in the middle of a meeting or she's not available and she's in the Caribbean and having a margarita and she just can't do it right now. It's happy hour, right? So here you can map everything you want. Now I've mapped the name, the email, the mobile phone number, the message they've entered from the deal, which ultimately came from the form, and then even the link to the HubSpot deal. So then she could click on the link and then actually read the deal and see if she can get more information before she decides, okay? Once you've done this, in this case, so once you've done these two things, you've configured the UI, and then you got the moderation link, then you choose how you send it to Pen. You could send it through Slack, you could send it through email, you could send it, in this case, through SMS. You could send it through just about any way you have to communicate with someone, and that's really up to you. In this case, I'm going to send it through a text message, okay? So here I'm using our SMS, Twilio-powered SMS action, and I'm going to send her a text message because that's usually the most immediate way to communicate with somebody. But before I do that, I have to shorten the URL, which means when you send an SMS, you want your URLs to be really short. So you can use the shorten URL action here. Again, you wonder how that's happening. Shorten URL, right? And in the shorten URL, I'm getting the moderation link from the previous action, okay? So I just came here and I just chose get moderation link, and I have a link. This is a unique link for this one instance, okay? And then this is going to emit a shortened URL. So now in the email that in the text that I sent her, I say pen, not Rex, pen. This is a new lead, first name, last name, just filled out a form on our landing page. Click this link to decide what to do next. And then I have the shortened URL that come from right above, okay? So this is the text that she'll see. And then I'll show you what it looks like because I just did it for myself. Here it is. I don't know if you see it right here. Let me move this down a little bit. So let me move this up. Yeah, it's snowing here. So here it is. Right? You see it?
Yeah, we can see it, Fred.
All right, this new lead, Mark Mann, just filled out a form on our landing page. Click here to view it. So now he clicks on it. And what opens up is that UI. And if you remember the UI, now this is on the phone here. Let me see what it looks like. Right. So then the next thing, when he clicks on it, this UI shows up. And now this is again on my phone, right? And it says call now or send calendar link. Okay, you see that? New lead. This is the information from the new lead. Call now, send calendar link. And the reason it doesn't say just approve or deny is because we've configured the UI here to change it, right? We said call now is approve and send calendar link. So it's much more relevant to the decision that you're going to make, and it makes sense, right? You know exactly what to do, right? All right. Now, this is the second part, which is really, really cool. So actually, I'm going to remove this one. This is not supposed to be here. Okay.
And Fred, so just to clarify, I'm the rep. I get the option, send my calendar link, which is really straightforward. It's going to send them my link to my Calendly link so that they can book a call with me. And what happens if I push call now? Does it call them?
We're not quite there yet, but it's going to go either to the right or to the left. And then
Okay.
we'll show you what call now is, okay? So, but the short answer to your question is whatever you want to happen. Because it's really a way to go to the right or a way to go to the left. That's all we've done so far, okay? Take a look at this. Await human moderation with timeout. We've just introduced the timeout aspect of this. So we used to have await human moderation and he would just wait forever. But now you can actually give it a timeout. So you could say, hey, only wait for 15 minutes. If Penn doesn't respond within 15 minutes, let's deny, which means it's going to go to the left instead of the right. Now, this is really powerful because you still don't want the lead to wait too long. They don't, if Penn is gone for, for a week, or she's on a plane to, where do you want to go, Penn? To Paris, right? And it's from the West Coast, it's what is it, a 6-hour, 7-hour flight or whatever. She may not be able to respond. So within 15 minutes, it's going to say deny, and it's going to go to the left automatically. But if she's available and she clicks approve, then it's going to go to the right. Okay, that's the await human moderation with timeout. And you can make that timeout whatever you want. So apply that to anything you want. Apply that to creating invoices and waiting for people to approve them. Apply that to signing people up and approving them to join a webinar. Apply that to just about anything you want, okay? Right now we're just doing it in a sales environment, but it could be just anything, okay? And then the timing obviously could be anything you want it to be. So here, the branch here, now you're gonna say, await human moderation result. So I'm getting this result from here, right from the from above result. And then the result is either approved or denied. Remember, even though you're seeing call now or send SMS link, the system is just looking at approved and deny. What you see and what the system sends is two different things, right? The system is only seeing approved because that's always the same. So anything that's approved. If you say approved, now I'm answering your question, Pen. In this particular case, now, if we had connected something like Zoom Voice or Ring Central, you could automatically even dial, right, with your phone, and your phone would start ringing, right? You could do that. In this case, I didn't do that. I just said, tell you what, if she says call now, let's send a follow-up text to the person who filled out the form. Hey, Mark, thanks for filling out the form. Do you have a few minutes to talk now? I can call you, right? And then he's going to respond and say yes, and then she can call him. But again, this could be replaced with anything else. And if you have a voice over IP dialer, then you can just put it here, and then the phone call would be made. But if she says send my link, then this one is going to go. It's going to say, hey, Joe, thanks for your interest in APIANT. Could you pick a time for us to chat here? And then there's a link to her calendar, okay, through SMS. Okay. Does that answer your question, Pen?
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so if you look at, I'm going to discard this here. If you look at the test that I did here, so, all right, the full number was wrong, but in this case, I said send link. So you can see here, the deal came in, okay? The configure UI is call now. And then send text message, say, Rex, this is a new lead. Click here to decide. And in this case, he decided to say send SMS, and then it went to the left and sent the SMS, but the phone number was wrong. So this is why we got an error here. So that's it. That's it. From the lead right on your page to dispatching this to different, and again, you could even rotate those leads. So you could just say, you know what, I'm not always going to send it to Pen. We could create a round robin here. So it goes to either by department or by any kind of rule you have to your salespeople, or even by availability. This can be enhanced so much, but this is as simple as it gets if you want to get back to people right away and still give your salespeople the opportunity to delay it with a calendar instead of calling them right away. And that's it. Thoughts?
Well, I have personally benefited from using this here at APIANT. We've done this with our landing page forms, and I loved it. So huge fan.
Okay, Mark, any final thoughts?
No, I mean, it's definitely a great way to keep, the sales pipeline, flowing. It's depending on which way you want to send it, SMS, Slack, Teamwork, all kinds of ways to notify your salespeople, and just to keep that ball rolling and put in contingent plans when they aren't available. So a lot of CRMs have similar things, but not as detailed as we can get to kind of help collaborate all that information. So.
And my final thoughts are, again, we just use the sales op scenario, but you could do this for anything. You now have an ability to have humans, right, be part of the decision, and then routing the work based on what it is. Again, like I said, it could be an invoice that needs to be approved. It could be an action that needs to be that needs to be taken. It could be an error that needs to be fixed, right? So let's say you're working on a list and some emails are wrong, and instead of .com, it's .con. You could send it to the right person and say, hey, this email, this transaction did not work because the email is wrong. Can you fix it? Right. When it's fixed, click fixed, boom, fixed, and then it'll continue the automation. So really, you can extrapolate that to just about any kind of process automation that you can think of.
Right.
On that note, I'm going to let you guys go. We kept it under a half hour. I've been wanting to do this forever. And now we have a really good demo. We can just go and enjoy our weekend.
Cool.
Love it. Thanks, Fred.
All right. Peace out. Bye-bye.